What up, car people? Ariel here. We're gonna do some block. I got a lot of car things to knock out. I got cleaning that needs to be done in this garage. It's filthy. It's still very hard to work out of, but this is what I have, so I got to deal with it. I'm gonna find a really good way to organize this garage, and once I do it, I'll share with you all. For anybody who has a really tiny space to work out of, it's better than working on the streets, which I have done. It's not fun, but car guys, we find a way. Here's the front lip off my daily driver, the Evo. Got wrecked, started raining, and I kind of plowed through some puddles, and I didn't realize it ripped my lip here. But anyway, this lip is done for. I'm gonna toss it. On to some Celica time. What are we doing today? Raise the rear of the Celica. Let's see. Let's check out that stance before we do anything too crazy. But I raise the front. The back looks fine, but once I get in, it squats too much and it starts rubbing. So the car should have some kind of rake. So we're gonna lift it up. Let's see. Here's a better shot of the car without the lens distortion. So I'm squatting down. There's the car. The back needs to go up. It doesn't really work right. When I get in, it squats too much and it rubs. So we're gonna lift the back just to get a little bit of rake. Nothing too crazy. I just want to keep the fenders off the tires. They're rolled, but they're not rolled a lot. So it shouldn't rub. We'll just raise it up a bit. Tedious, but it's easy, so let's just get it done. Always work safely. Chalk your wheels. Use jack stands and a quality jack. Always support your vehicle with the jack stands.
Why? Oh, because there's a hot spot beneath Earth's famous rock out in the outback of the old
I like to have a jack stand, wheel chocks, and I still leave the jack, but I take the pressure off it. I can move it. If this were ever to fail, which it should never, I still got this. Extra safety. I try and keep the car pretty clean as possible underneath and all that. When I was younger, I painted a lot of these parts here. You know, just get down here with some degreaser, wipe it down, scuff it up, give it a little coat of some semi-black, semi-gloss black, and you're in the races. I did these calipers. These rotors didn't really hold up. But anyway, everything looks nice and fresh. I painted these arms. I've replaced the stock bushings with energy suspension bushings. Really nice upgrade. You can see them there again in a high-promoted rear brace. NVIDIA exhaust. Anyway, to adjust the coilover, I'm going to measure from this nut, right here, from the center of this nut to the top of the spring perch. That's how I'll get my measurement, and I want to raise the car up about 1/2 inch. So I'll measure from here to there, and I'll just kind of add 1/2 inch and see how it goes. If I like it, I'll repeat it for the other side, and we can test drive it. So I'm gonna get a hammer and a screwdriver because these are pretty worn and it's just much easier to get at them with the hammer and screwdriver. Since the car sits in a garage, this isn't very corroded, so they're still easy to move around. If you daily or if it snows where you're at, I suggest you put some anti-seize and some good protection on these threads so that they don't seize up on you, because you won't be able to adjust your height ever again if they do, or it'll take a lot of work to get it right. So let me get those tools and we'll get started. All right, so let's take a measurement. These coilovers, they're both the same brand, but one is like an updated version. Let's see, let me find a good reference point to set my measurement. I'm gonna try for the center of the bolt, and let's see. So that puts me at 3, and let's see, center of the bolt. I'm about 3 1/4 currently, and I'm gonna just give it another 1/2 inch, which will put me at 3 3/4, measured from the center of this bolt to the top of the spring perch. Let's see how it goes. There you go. Sometimes these get a little jammed up. They don't want to cooperate, so they got to turn opposite ways to lock. This one's got to go down, that one's got to go up. Not sure if you can hear it. It might be a little dirty. It's getting caught on some dirt, so I'll make sure to wipe it as I adjust. Keep it clean. Now I can use these. Let me get in there with a rag and clean the threads up, because as I go up, the perch is going to cover new threads, and they had better be clean. Otherwise, I could seize up this coilover. I could damage these very fine threads, which is, that's how it goes with coilovers, guys. This is just regular coilover maintenance, if you think about it. I wish I was a little better with this on the Evo, but it's hard to find the time to work on 2 modified cars and, do all the other adult things, work, life, marriage, etc. I have a lot of hobbies too. I love Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels, basic die-cast cars, basically, 1/64 scale. I really want to make more videos on that, but I'm not sure it's going to be well received. Alright guys, I'll check back in once I lock the coilover and we check this height. Alright, car people, we got our setting. I locked it in, so I decided to measure instead, for more consistency, from the bottom of the bolt, because that's easier to eyeball. Anyway, the reading is from the bottom of the bolt to the top of here is 4 inches exact. Let's check that. Check that. So if we like this, we can repeat it on the other side and lock it in, call it a day. So bottom, alright. 4. All right, so from the bottom of the bolt to the bottom of the spring seat is 4 inches. So that's the number we're gonna go with. Bottom of bolt, bottom of spring seat, 4 inches. Boom. Make sure we're the same on the other side, because the coilover bodies are different. So I can't really use the body as a reference. It's just more simple to use the mounting bolt as a reference for height against the spring perch. That'll work. I'm gonna throw the wheel on. If I like the gap, we'll repeat it on the other side. We're done. Road test. Yeah.
Like your runs, bro.
Thank you. Just thinking about the height. So, how's that look? Does it look even with the front? The thing with the Celica is they're naturally very tall, and if you lower them too much, you're going to hurt the handling because the angle of the control arm starts to squat, so it loses a bit of response and starts jerking around when you hit bumps. I think, looking at the front here and the back, I think maybe I can shave a 1/4 inch off of the setting that I had for the coilover. I think that might put it at a good spot, very even with the front, and call it a day. So let's go down a bit, and yeah. But no worries, once we have this side figured, we're just going to repeat on the other side, and someday we'll have a professional corner balance it, and that'll probably finish off the rest of the suspension adjustments, as long as I got the right height. We'd love to get different wheels with a better fit. Tons of plans. I've had the car for a long time, so sometimes your mind changes. But I want to build a cool Celica. That's pretty simple. In my head, at least, it's simple. And while I'm at it, I'll entertain you folks and maybe, just maybe, stumble upon a new career path. Because working for a living is not fun. If I did this, it wouldn't feel like work. And I could probably, get a cooler setup, do better things. I think it's very possible. Always lock it in with these dudes. Give it a final snug with these guys. Alright, we'll catch up when I finish the other side. Alrighty. You're ready. There you go. That's the ride height. I think it's proper. There's a little bit of rake in the back, but I think that looks totally fine on this car. I think it should have a little bit of rake, not too much, but definitely. It's kind of built into the body lines. There you go. I'm pretty hyped. I threw on the Tsunami tails just to be different for a little while. I'll go back to red later because I like the cleaner look of red, but I want to rock those. I'm going for the TRD high score, TRD flares, wing. I want to get the side skirts someday. I want to get the elegant front lip or a ready lip with the 03 front. But that's it for now. I cleaned the IAC, so basically I'm gonna put it away and I'll drive it later to the car wash. I know that that's not gonna rub. That's totally fine. So yeah, good for now. And I'll get the dust off of this, and we'll take it to a Cars and Coffee. Anyway, let me know what you thought of the video. Leave your comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, get notified. Stay tuned. At 8,600 subscribers, I want to give something away really special. Maybe something Celica related. I'm still trying to figure out what. But stay tuned, subscribe. Yeah. Instagram at @themos_Ariel. Ariel out. Peace. Yay, yay.